The sports betting game looks flashy and thrilling on the surface, a clash of wits and luck, but in reality, it's a treacherous swamp, teeming with hidden dangers that can swallow you whole. Countless people, chasing dreams of overnight riches, dive headfirst into this dazzling world, only to find it's not paradise, but a meticulously designed purgatory. Their dreams get crushed, their wallets drained dry, and in the end, they're left with nothing, not even their dignity or their last shred of pride. As a veteran who's been battered and bruised in this smokeless battlefield for over a decade, I've seen too many tales of triumph and tragedy, too many swings of human nature. I've watched ambitious young folks lose their parents' life savings in days, their eyes going from hopeful to hollow. I've seen successful middle-aged professionals, caught up in a single reckless bet, end up with broken families and bankrupt businesses. These weren't fools. Many were elites in their fields. But in this arena, they all made the same fatal mistakes. Those mistakes spread like a virus, eroding your reason and wealth the moment they take hold. I'm not here to sell you some foolproof winning formula, because it doesn't exist. I'm here to rip off this industry's glamorous mask and show you its bloody truth. I'll lay bare the 3 deadliest, costliest, and most common mistakes in sports betting: parlays, impatience, and non-existent bankroll management. These are the 3 forks in the road to ruin. Take any one, and you'll end up with nothing. If you want to survive this game a little longer, or even just hold on to your stake, then settle down and hear me out. This isn't just experience talking. It's a lesson carved from countless dollars and shattered lives. First sin, parlays, the bookie's sweetest poison. Parlays, known as accumulators in some circles, are the most seductive, widespread, and lethal trap in sports betting. Why call it a trap? Because it's designed not to make you money, but to maximize the bookie's profits. It's essentially a lottery dressed up by the betting companies, dangling sky-high odds to hook the greed deep in your soul. Walk into any betting shop or open any betting app. What hits you first? The flashiest, most prominent spot is always reserved for those glitzy parlay cards. Today's top double, weekend thrill treble, championship night 5-fold, or even the absurd 10-fold challenge. Each comes with odds so juicy they make your heart race, whispering, "Come on, just $10 and you could win thousands, maybe tens of thousands." In one moment, your life could change. But what's the truth? These tantalizing bets are the bookie's cash cow, the steadiest, fattest slice of their profits. The odds of winning are so slim, your chances are practically zero. Let's cool off and use basic math to burst this pretty bubble. A parlay's logic is simple. You must correctly predict every single game you pick. One tiny slip-up, even a minor detail, and your entire bet goes up in smoke. Assume each game has a 50% win probability, an overly generous assumption, since bookies tilt the odds with spreads and juice. 2-team parlay, you need to nail 2 games. Probability, 50% asterisk 50% equals 25%. With spreads, maybe it's around 33%. Sounds decent, barely worth it, and it's the only parlay I might tolerate, maybe betting a beer's worth for fun. 3-team parlay, probability plummets to 50% asterisk 50% asterisk 50% equals 12.5%. In reality, with the bookies cut, you're looking at maybe 10%. 4-team parlay, probability drops to 6.25%. That's 1 win in 16 tries, theoretically. 5-team parlay, a brutal 3.125%. You've got a 97% chance of losing every cent. 10-team parlay, stop kidding yourself. The win probability is 0.097%, less than 1 in 1,000. That's worse than finding money on the street. Ever see someone post a screenshot of hitting a 10-fold or 20-fold parlay? Sure, it happens. But that's the bookie's marketing bait, the ultimate survivor bias. They flaunt one lucky winner to drown out the cries of thousands of losers. That's not betting. It's praying to the heavens, pure luck, while the bookie laughs all the way to the bank. Let me tell you a real story. A few years back, I knew a guy named Mike, early 30s, project manager at an IT firm, stressed but not a compulsive gambler. He had his limits. Then one day, he came to me buzzing, bragging about a $100 8-team parlay across NBA, European soccer, and NFL, with odds so high he could win tens of thousands. I frowned and warned him, "Mate, that's a bookie's scam, a tax on your brain. The odds are worse than a lottery. Take that $100 and treat yourself to a nice meal." He wouldn't listen, convinced his luck was on fire and his research was bulletproof. Miraculously, the first 7 games went his way, just barely. The final game, a late-night NFL matchup, had his team leading by a touchdown with 2 minutes left. He was shaking with excitement, already planning how to spend the windfall. But in the last 30 seconds, the opponent pulled off an unbelievable touchdown pass and extra point, snatching victory. Mike was stunned, nearly crushed his phone. Losing $100 was nothing, but the psychological drop from heaven to hell broke him. After that, he was hooked on parlays like a drug. He kept thinking, I was so close, certain the next one would hit. He dove into more complex parlays, upping his bets from $100 to $500, then $1,000. You can guess the outcome. Every time, he crashed at the last hurdle. In months, he burned through years of savings and racked up credit card debt. That's the parlay's magic. It dangles the almost-won illusion, luring you to bet more until you're bled dry. Ever wonder why bookies make parlay cards so pretty and slap them front and center? It's the same trick as slot machines in casinos. High house edge, flashing lights, jingly sounds, and rolling jackpots to draw in the mathematically clueless. Parlays are sports betting's slot machines. For bookies, it's a no-lose deal. High odds pull in massive bets, but the tiny win probability means they only pay out to a few lucky souls. They know most players, especially newbies, get blinded by the payout, thinking more picks mean linearly higher risk, but exponentially higher reward. Wrong. Each added game multiplies your risk, and the bookie's profits soar. My advice on parlays is blunt and final. 1. Steer clear. If you're serious about steady, rational returns, erase parlays, especially 3-team or more, from your playbook entirely. 2. 2-team max. A 2-team parlay is your absolute limit. With about 33% odds, you've got a fighting chance, but even then, it shouldn't be your main strategy. 3. Be ruthlessly selective. If you must play a 2-team parlay, both games need deep research and rock-solid confidence, not just picking 2 hot teams. Each bet must stand on its own merit. For treat it as fun. Play parlays like you'd play the lottery, $10 or $20 for kicks. Lose, and it's just a bit of extra thrill for the game. Win, and treat yourself to a nice meal. 5. Don't buy the sure thing myth. There's no such thing as a lock. Even a powerhouse team against amateurs can flop due to a red card, injury, or bad weather. Stringing locks together just amplifies that tiny upset risk, torching your whole bet. High odds are the bookie's smokescreen, hiding an almost impossible math problem. Parlays are a trap tailored for those chasing quick riches with no grasp of math. Stick to single bets, study odds, analyze data, and hunt for value. Your odds of winning are far better. Don't let the bookie lead you by the nose. Their wallets are always fatter than yours. Second sin, impatience, the express lane to ruin. Sports betting isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a grueling marathon. Yet most people, the moment they step into this world, switch to a 100-meter sprint mindset. They dream of turning $100 into $1,000 by tomorrow, buying a new car next week, and a mansion the week after. This impatient, greedy mentality puts them on the fast track to destruction from the start. In betting, patience isn't just a virtue, it's the basic law of survival. Without it, you're like a paratrooper jumping without a parachute. Your fate is sealed. Impatient bettors fall into a few deadly patterns. 1. Chasing losses, the most common and devastating mistake. Lose a bet, especially one you were sure of, and your mind unravels. Regret, anger, and defiance take over, screaming, I need to win that money back now. So, you open the app, hunting for the next game, whether you know anything about it or not. Maybe it's a late-night South American Cup match or a Japanese J2 League game you've never heard of. Reeling from earlier losses, you double or triple your bet without analysis, banking on a miracle. The result? Your ignorance and bad luck dig a deeper hole. Take my friend Tom, a sharp finance guy, usually cool-headed. One Saturday, he lost 3 Premier League bets, about $3,000 total, not a huge deal for him. But that day, he was livid, feeling his judgment was insulted. He swore he'd win it back that night. He scoured the odds and locked onto a late NBA game, knowing nothing about the team's form or injuries. Just because the home team had a star, he threw down $5,000, thinking he'd recoup and profit. The star sat out, the underdog crushed it, and Tom was wiped out. Over drinks later, he groaned. I lost my mind. All I could think was win it back. If I'd just shut off my phone and slept, I wouldn't have been so stupid. 1. Action junkies. Impatient bettors can't stand the void of not having a bet riding. They crave the adrenaline of waiting for results. On a typical Saturday, with hundreds of games, college football, European soccer, basketball, tennis, hockey, they see a buffet and want a piece of every dish. They bet from noon J-League to midnight NBA, hitting every league in between. Wake up. Betting isn't about quantity, it's about quality. Scattering bets bleeds your funds dry with tiny losses. I knew a guy who bet on over 50 games one weekend, from soccer to darts. He won a dozen but lost thousands overall. No time to analyze, just gut bets, and against the bookies' math, your gut's worthless. 2. Overbetting for quick gains. Impatient bettors hate slow growth. Grinding from $5,000 to $5,500, then $6,000? Too boring. They want $5,000 to hit $10,000 overnight. So they overbet. With $5,000, a rational bet is $100 to $250. But that's too slow, so they spot a sure thing and drop $2,500, half their bankroll. Win, and it's a 50% jump. Lose, and you're crippled. That loss wrecks your mindset, pushing you to chase losses with the remaining $2,500. Lose again, and you're done. Game over. Sports betting is a long game of probability and value. Pros who profit consistently, often with win rates of just 55%-60%, aren't luckier or psychic. Their edge is ironclad patience. They spend hours studying games, data, injury reports, even weather. Like hunters, they wait days for the perfect shot, passing on 10 decent bets to avoid wasting a bullet. Years ago, I met old Jack, a 50-something pro gambler who'd been at it for 20 years, living off his winnings. The calmest guy I knew, he had a routine. Every morning, locked in his study with sports papers and data sheets. He'd go a week without betting if nothing looked right. In one NBA playoff series, everyone backed the favorite to sweep. Jack spent 2 days rewatching games, spotting the underdog's big man neutralizing the favorite's star and a weak bench. While the crowd chased the favorite, he bet heavy on the underdog with the spread. The series was tight, the underdog covered every game, and Jack pocketed half a year's salary. When I asked his secret, he sipped his tea and said, "What's the rush? Games are every day, like fish in a river. Miss one, another comes. Keep your rod ready, stay patient, and you'll hook your fish. Frantic fishermen just scare the fish and burn out. That's patience's power. To survive and thrive in betting's brutal waters, it's the core skill you must master. How to build patience. 1. Cap your daily bets. Limit yourself to 3 or 5 bets a day. This forces you to skip mediocre games and focus on the best. 2. Accept losses and pause. Lose? Close the app, go for a walk, watch a movie, or hang with family. Don't chase. The betting market's always open. Wait for a clear head to find the next good bet. 3. Keep a betting log. After every bet, win or lose, jot down why you picked it, your logic, and the outcome. Was it bad luck or bad analysis? Over time, you'll spot your mental traps and learn to wait for real opportunities. 4. Check your emotions before hitting confirm. Ask yourself, is this bet based on data and analysis, or am I bored, impulsive, or chasing yesterday's losses? If it's the latter, cancel it. Emotions are the devil, patience is divine. In sports betting, only those who master their impulses win. 3rd sin, non-existent bankroll management, the naked swimmer. Bankroll management is the most critical, yet most ignored part of sports betting. It's your lifeline, your ammo in this war. Without it, even the sharpest analysis or keenest instincts will lead to ruin. Many think betting's about picking winners and luck. That's dangerously naive. The true core of betting isn't prediction, it's risk management. And the heart of risk management is your bankroll strategy. Without a bankroll system, you're swimming naked in shark-infested waters. You might dodge a bite with luck, but when the tide turns or your stamina fades, you're devoured. Common bankroll mistakes. 1. Going all in, the dumbest, most hopeless move. After analyzing a game, some bettors feel they've cracked the code. The favorite can't lose, the script's set. So, they dump their entire account, or even borrow on one game. Let me be harsh. There's no such thing as a sure win. Balls are round, soccer, basketball, anything can happen. A star player tweaks an ankle in warm-ups, a ref makes a bad call, a goalie fumbles, or a sudden rain shifts the game. I saw a guy, Chris, bet $20,000 on an NBA playoff game, convinced the home team would cover. He debated online, listed dozens of reasons, and sold his friends on it. Second quarter, the star twists an ankle, never returns, and the team collapses. Chris's account hit zero. He cursed the injured player, but the money was gone, straight to the bookie. 2. Tilting after losses. Losing is normal. No one wins every bet. But some, after a few losses, hit a tilt state, decisions driven by rage or revenge, not logic. Say you bet $500 per game and lose 3, down $1,500. The rational move is to pause, reassess, or rest. But tilters see the next game and bet $3,000 thinking, this'll cover my losses and profit. Lose again, and the hole deepens. Next, $6,000 to break even. It's a bottomless pit. I knew Jake, a brilliant grad who made money early with a data model. Then he hit a 5-game losing streak, a blow to his ego. To prove his model, he bet his last $8,000 on a perfect soccer game with high odds. A massive upset wiped him out. He later admitted, I wasn't betting on the game, I was betting on my pride. I lost to my emotions. 3. Unrealistic unit systems. Online experts scream 500-unit bomb or 1,000-unit lock to sound pro or draw clicks. Newbies see confidence and follow. Wake up. A real unit is 1% to 2% of your bankroll, maybe 3% to 5% for a confident bet. That's aggressive enough. 100 or 1,000 units. That's nonsense. No game justifies your whole stake. Those pushing big bets are either scammers or reckless gamblers who'll vanish when luck runs dry. I've seen people lose tens of thousands in days following these tips. A solid bankroll system is simple but ironclad. 1. Set your bankroll. This is disposable money. Losing it won't touch your rent, car, or family expenses. 2. Define your unit. Divide your bankroll by 100. For a $10,000 bankroll, 1 unit equals $100. 3. Stick to fixed bets. Most bets should be 1 unit. 4. High-confidence bets, maybe 2 to 3 units. Never exceed 5% of your bankroll on one game. Even a brutal 10-game losing streak costs only 10% to 20%, leaving you room to recover. For set a stop loss, cap daily or weekly losses. Lose 5 units, $500 in our example. Stop for the day, no matter what. This prevents tilting. 5. Track everything. Use a spreadsheet or notebook to log every bet. Date, game, wager, odds, units, result, profit/loss. This shows your financial health and helps you spot strengths and weaknesses. I know a pro, Steve, who's bet for over a decade, never gone bust, and profits yearly. His secret? A rigid bankroll system. He splits his funds into 100 units, betting 1 to 2 per game. He told me, betting's a marathon, not a sprint. Run too fast, you collapse. Manage your money, pace yourself, and you'll reach the finish line.